what did Evil Dead the game used to look like? Way back in alpha, beta, whatever it was, way back in the day, because I specifically remember when this game was first announced that it was said that there was going to be crafting in this game. And as we know now, there is no crafting in this game at all. So, well, the Pablo gets to craft an amulet, but that's about it. And there's a ton of stuff that was cut from this game. And what we're going to be going over in this video is stuff that was cut from the game, and only stuff that I think was cut from the game, and kind of theorizing what the game probably looked like and what it originally looked like. And I think it probably looked pretty cool. And maybe it was super unbalanced, and that's probably why this stuff got cut. But it seems like it was pretty fun. And also, before we dive in, I want to mention and thank the 2 Twitter accounts that I'll be using in this video that have datamined a lot of this stuff, and that is Leaks of Sumeria and Evil Dead the Evil Dead the Leak, and both of their handles will be linked in the description below if you'd like to go follow them yourselves and see if you're interested in some of these leaks. I will warn you that they do have leaks on here that pertain to future content, so it's not just potentially cut content. So everything in this video is just going to be stuff that I believe was cut from the game and that we will not see again. Anything that I believe is clearly like upcoming content that's stuck in the files that has yet to drop, I'll probably cover that in another video. So this is just kind of going over stuff that I think was cut. So this is the first thing. Upcoming weapons. The tweet right here says upcoming. He said this account says they're not sure if it was scrapped or not. Personally, I believe that they were scrapped, and I'll get into why. But what they are here is some pretty interesting stuff. We have a minigun. We have I guess this is just the minigun right here. It's just the minigun with 2 different angles on it. And then we also have the harpoon launcher, and then the nail gun are 2 other guns that were leaked in the files. And the interesting thing is that there was a skill for the hunter class that was called Weapons of Mass Destruction. And it was for the heavy weapons, which is like the minigun and the harpoon weapon. And it's pretty interesting because it's like, man, it makes you wonder, how did heavy weapons ever work in this game? How does a minigun work in this game? Because a minigun would take hundreds of ammo, right? And as we know, ammo is a lot harder to come by than that. And a minigun would seemingly just shred through stuff. So how could a minigun ever possibly be balanced? It's really, really strange. Like, how is this ever in the game? And here's my theory. I think, and we'll get into more of this in a second, I think that at one time crafting was in this game, and that you crafted everything, like you crafted all your weapons, and that ammo didn't exist. I think in the very early stages of this game, the ammo did not exist. That every weapon probably had like a clip. So like the blunderbuss would have a 1-round clip, and then you'd have unlimited reserves. That's what I think probably happened in this game. Is originally there was no ammo at all. That's the only way I could possibly see a heavy weapon like a minigun working, is if it had like a 100-round clip, but there was no reserve ammo. That's the only way. That's the only way I could envision a heavy weapon working. I can't see any other way it could. It just seems really strange. I can't fathom how else a heavy weapon like a minigun could have worked. And here's the stuff in the ping system. It's the flamethrower, harpoon gun, and minigun. I personally hope, because like the minigun, I have no idea how that would work. The harpoon gun could still work, but I don't know how that would be any different from like the crossbow. I don't know how it wouldn't just be like a better version of the crossbow. But the flamethrower I hope to see, because we don't really have a gun that's like an AoE gun yet. So I hope we get to see like the flamethrower later on down the road. That would be really nice, because number one, Kelly talks about it with her voice lines, which is cool. But we don't have anything that's like, oh, this is like super low damage, but it can hit multiple things at once. I hope we get something like that. That'd be awesome. The flamethrower is the one thing that I think may not be cut content. I think that may be future content. Oh, another interesting thing is the original shotgun ammo. And now it just uses the yellow long gun ammo now. Bro, I wish they would bring back shotgun ammo and make it separate. I really do. I kind of understand like why they don't, because I think the only long guns there are right now is the lever action and the hunting rifle. So maybe they were like, dude, there's 3 shotguns and only 2 long guns. Why don't we just combine them and have 5 in the same class? But then again, there's only 2 pistols. So I don't know, man. And there's only 2 special weapons. That's weird. So it would have been 2 and 3, right? Is what it would have been. It would have been 2, 2, 2, and 3, and now it's 2, 2, and 5, which is weird. I wish they'd bring back the shotgun ammo, but maybe they thought to themselves, that's too much ammo, and then it caused like an issue with like your ammo economy. That could be my only guess. But it would have been cool to see the version of this game originally that had the shotgun ammo. But again, I still think that it's possible that this game did not have any ammo in the beginning. And I saw something somewhere because I scrolled through a bunch of different Twitter stuff to see all these different leaks and stuff that got data mined. And one of the things I saw is that heavy ammo was a thing at one time. So maybe there was ammo back when heavy weapons were in. I don't know. So it's pretty interesting. I'd love to see shotgun ammo back though. So here, the sheds you see around the map are labeled crafting houses. I'm sure you've seen these all over the place. Man, I wish crafting was still in the game. My hope is that maybe it'll make its way back in the form of an ability. Like maybe if the blacksmith from Army of Darkness makes it in as a character, he'll have the ability to go to these things and like craft a weapon or something to that effect. That would be super cool. I think that at one time you probably crafted your melee weapons and your ranged weapons. That would be my assumption. And at one time there like was no rarity. Maybe the chest just popped out materials, and then you would take those materials and go and craft the stuff that you need. And maybe at some point they decided, no, that's not any good, because then survivors, as long as they're good, are guaranteed to get super leveled up every game. Whereas now, with the system we have now, it's like RNG, whether or not you get a super good weapon or not throughout the match. So maybe that's why they cut it. There's the mini-map workbench icon. And then, oh, this one's really interesting. So fuses. There used to be a thing where you had to go and get fuses to fix a fuse box. And you'll see right here, this was the, up here, you can see the little like electric symbols right here. But then there's also still the fire symbols. So that's interesting, because initially I thought, like maybe you needed to turn these on and it was like your only light source to lower fear, but they still have the campfires, those light sources. So I think it's one of two things is how this used to work. It's either that every area in the game had lights and was connected to a fuse box, and the demon could sabotage it and then get rid of your light sources. And then the devs are probably like, that's too strong, because then, you know, everybody's fear is going to be going crazy, and then it's super easy for the demon to possess, and maybe they cut it for that reason. I also think it's possible that maybe, because either way, they clearly cut it because they thought it was unbalanced. I think it's also possible that maybe every place in the game started without power, and then you had to go find a fuse and put it in the fuse box, and it would give you power and light sources that would lower your fear to the same degree that the regular light sources do. So it would like lower it like crazy and basically make it impossible for you to be possessed. I think it was probably one of those two things. And either way, it sounds really dumb and overpowered for both sides. So that's probably why they cut it. If it's that survivors could have like basically unlimited fear reduction, then that was really busted for survivors. If demons could take out your life source and force you into evacuating the area or getting wrecked by fear and possessions, or having to go and find a fuse to repair it, they probably, that was OP for demons as well. Because I also think that if that were the case, where the demon could sabotage it, it's like no player would ever then take the time to find a fuse box and put it back. They would most likely just leave the area and go loot somewhere else. I could see where that could have been a problem. So it's, I don't know, man. I just find it like incredibly fascinating what this game could have looked like originally, with crafting, with heavy weapons in the game, with fuse boxes in the game. It almost seems like it kind of played sort of like a, almost like a cross between maybe like VHS and Friday the 13th. Like VHS has a small form of crafting, and Friday the 13th had some fuse box stuff involved in that. So it sounded really interesting. It seems like maybe the game was a lot more complicated originally in the very beginning, and now it's just kind of a lot less complicated. I'm not going to say it's worse, but I assume they just figured out some balancing issues and needed to cut a lot of this stuff. But it'd be cool to see some of this stuff come back. I don't think we'll ever see fuse boxes come back. I don't think we're ever going to see shotgun ammo come back. I think it's possible we'll see the heavy weapons make an appearance at some point, but probably not as regular weapons. Probably going to have to be as something special, or maybe something tied to a character. Like maybe a specific character can have a, you know, that kind of a weapon. Maybe they're going to introduce Fistful Boomstick Ash, because evidently he had a gimmick like that where he could put weapons on his chainsaw hand. And maybe part of his ability is he can hit Q and have these crazy weapons on his hand. That'd be super sick. That'd be really cool. But hey, let me know in the comments what you think this game used to look like. And let's theory craft here. Let's try to figure out what you think Evil Dead originally looked like, and if you think any of this stuff will make an appearance later on down the line in this game. Let me know what you think, and if you made it this far, as always, don't forget to subscribe. And I appreciate all of you watching. And that's it.